Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming tonight. I know you had a choice of where you could be, but I'm so thankful that all you beautiful people decided to come and be with us tonight. And I am Dorothy Luckett Washington from Bowie, Maryland. And I want to ask you if you have a piece of paper, or if you don't have a piece of paper, get a piece of paper and pen, because you may want to write down some questions or things that you may like to ask. At this time, I would like for everyone to mute their lines. So let's mute our lines, because for the next 45 minutes, you're going to hear about a $1 trillion industry, which equates to the largest economic trend in world history, according to Paul Zane Pilzer. He is an economist, public speaker, entrepreneur, author of 8 books, including The Next Millionaire, which I intend to be one of those. You're going to hear about a company and a product line that is perfectly positioned to dominate in this category. A company that is catching the attention of investors. It is a publicly traded company and it's growing, and how you can capitalize on its timing. So as you watch this primetime investigative report, I want you to ask yourself 2 questions. Who needs to know about this information? And if you could benefit financially from the information, would you be open to that? And even though it's a little antiquated, it's the beginning of our history as we know it. So write down some questions.
My body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig. Okay. I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver. This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body.
Leading to disease?
Leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes.
Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
I wouldn't put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can slow it down.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. Taking just 1 pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes.
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression. But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
When that news report aired on primetime in 2005, many major medical universities began studying Protandim.
Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to introduce you to our presenter for this evening. Our presenter is Dr. Kathleen Troust, who I had the blessing of meeting 3 years ago, May 2017 to be exact. And when I saw that, it was a blessing. So she's going to, she's a doctor of physical therapy. She's a fitness professional of over 20 years. She's a mom of 2 young boys. And she's a successful leader, and she's one of my beautiful leaders, and I receive here at Life Vantage. So, Kathleen Troust.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm just so honored to support this amazing growing community. I live in Urbana, Maryland, which is up in Frederick County, just a couple notches north of DC. And I'll tell you a little bit about my story, but first I want to catch you up to speed as to what we're doing in relationship to that news clip and why oxidative stress is such a relevant conversation today. So give me just a moment to share my screen again. And here we go. Oxidative stress is damage to the cells of our body. And I had never heard of that before, oxidative stress. Had anybody heard of that prior to seeing that news clip? Most people haven't. And so, but it's damage to the cells of our body. It's normal cells turned abnormal. Just like when you cut open an apple and you leave it out on a shelf, it turns brown, it breaks down. That's what's happening on our insides. But there's also pollution in the air and chemicals in our water and pesticides in our food, microwaves, cell phones, even fitness. And I'm a fitness enthusiast. Even that causes increased oxidative stress. Now, why is this important? Because hundreds and hundreds of breakdowns in our body are related to oxidative stress. You can go to pubmed.gov, which is our National Library of Medicine database where all research is stored there, and you could look up oxidative stress and anything that you're curious about. And you may have noticed that John Quinones, when he took Protandim for 2 weeks, his oxidative stress was reduced by 45%. That's huge. And the first study that was done on Protandim put us in a unique situation as a company in that we can legally say Protandim reduces oxidative stress an average of 40% in 30 days. And we're the only company or product that can make that claim today. And that's huge because natural products are not allowed to make claims without science. But you know, people have been addressing oxidative stress in a way that they understand with direct antioxidants. So free radical damage, you may have heard of that, free radicals. And when you take a direct antioxidant through blueberries, goji berries, strawberries, acai berries, or your vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin D, you're neutralizing free radicals at a rate of 1-to-1. So think of taking Dixie cups of water to put out a house fire. Seems really inefficient, right? How many blueberries would you need to eat to put out a fire of free radicals if we're producing 300 septillion every day? Protandim is not an antioxidant. It's something called an activator. So instead of supplementing, we're activating the body. It turns on a protein pathway called your NRF2 pathway, like the football, okay, NRF2. And when your body starts producing your own antioxidant enzymes, you're not doing 1-to-1 anymore using those Dixie cups. You are turning the sprinkler system on in the room of every house, or the room of that house, with the fire hose in every room, okay? So much more effective, right? And the bigger question is, who needs to know about that? Are you thinking everybody? I was, and when I really wrapped my head around oxidative stress, because I hadn't heard of that even as a health professional, and I figured, oh my gosh, people need to know about this. So that's the beginning of my story. But the company itself, you're probably wondering, well, why am I just hearing about this information? When this aired in 2005, $5 million of orders came into the company literally overnight. But these were scientists in a laboratory. There was no marketing team. There was no infrastructure. They really missed the opportunity. However, doctors and researchers from all over the world called LifeVantage and said, we want to get our hands on your product and start doing our own studies. So today you can go to that same website, pubmed.gov, and type in Protandim. You're going to see 26 peer-reviewed papers and studies so far, with many, many more in the works. Places like Ohio State with the American Heart Association did a study on heart disease and scar tissue, and they put that study out in Circulation Journal to all the AHA members. They've never supported a study on a natural product before and then endorsed it in their journal. LSU did a skin cancer study, which propelled the company to create a product that could activate our skin. It's called True Science. It's the only activating anti-aging skincare line on the market today. The National Institute of Aging, which looks at lifespan, okay, that's a big topic right now, is living longer. They studied Protandim. And in their studies with the mice, Protandim was the only natural product to show an increase in lifespan. And they compared it to things like turmeric and green tea and fish oil and resveratrol, things that you've heard of before. Those don't actually increase lifespan, but Protandim did. So the point is, this is not your average product on the market, but it was in the retail stores. They tried online marketing. It wasn't a good fit back in 2005. And then they put it in retail stores, GNC, CVS, apothecaries all over the country. And they put it in the antioxidant section because there's really no other place to put it. It's an activator. It's nutrigenomics. It's nutrition affecting our genes. There's no category for that on the shelf. So but it sat there, and a $50 bottle said Nerf 2 Synergizer next to a $10 bottle of vitamin C. What do you think people probably bought? Of course they bought the vitamin C because we buy what's familiar. In 2009, after 4 years, they brought in a business consultant who watched that ABC news clip because they were trying to figure out, how are we going to get this out to people? He watched that news clip and was so blown away. He says, this has a story that needs to be told. And there's nothing more powerful than person-to-person referrals, word-of-mouth marketing. It's the most powerful driver to people making decisions. And if any of you have had a business before, you can just hope and pray that people are out there sharing in a way that other people understand. And that's called network marketing. He convinced the board of directors to pull this product out of the stores and put this into a network marketing business model so that we could continue to use that news clip that's so educational. And he says, don't get into sales. Work in teams of people to provide the education so people understand what this is and expand the company that way. So they did. They grew from 3 million, which they could never get over 3 million in the stores, to 11 million the first year. And today we're a $200 million company, and you might be just hearing about it for the first time, which is pretty exciting. So we're going to go over a few components here, 6 different things that you want to evaluate to assess whether this is a good fit for you, or how you might want to be involved in this either as a consumer or as a business partner, or potentially refer somebody to the person that invited you here that might be looking for that. So first of all, you might look at the company itself. LifeVantage is a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ today and the Russell Index. We have a board of directors, which includes world-renowned consumer advocate Erin Brockovich. She's on our board. But most importantly, this means transparency and an opportunity. We know what's going on behind the scenes. And not only that, we can be investors in our own business, in addition to being a distributor. We also have the leadership in place that knows exactly how to take companies at our level to create legacy long-term companies. The last thing you want to do is put your time and investment and money into a business that you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes and it doesn't have the right leadership. We're also in a global market. So we are in 18 countries and counting as of today. And because of our, we are partnered with the Major League Soccer team. That's part of our global expansion and marketing strategy, of course. But our products are approved through the Banned Substance Control Group. That's significant. That just means our products can be used by Olympic and professional athletes where they can't actually go and buy that vitamin C and GNC. They're not allowed to do that, but they can buy our products. So that's some exciting stuff about our company itself. Now, then we look at trends. Now, there's an unfortunate trend. There's an unfortunate trend that 75% of Americans at minimum are living paycheck to paycheck. 95% of Americans cannot afford to retire and live the lifestyle that they were living when they were working. This is a problem. Brick and mortar business is also very expensive, and it's very expensive for a traditional entrepreneur to get off the ground with all the capital required. So network marketing is a growing trend for entrepreneurs and companies for this reason. It's lower cost of doing business for the company. and it's easier access for an entrepreneur without all the risk. You can see the growth in billions of sales, but over here on the right, you're going to see the increase in health and wellness. Dorothy mentioned this when we started the presentation tonight. It's the largest economic trend in world history is wellness. Why? Because people want to prevent that illness. They want to take care of things and not have to rely on those pharmaceuticals, right? So this is why this is such an important trend to consider when looking at an opportunity. Now, then we look at product trends. Looking at an opportunity, what kind of products are moving through that company? Well, we have category changing, unique and consumable products in 6 different major categories: anti-aging, skincare, hair care, pet care, energy, which we like to call our brain food, and weight loss, weight management. So to go over our products, I'm going to quickly introduce, I'm going to stop share here, quickly introduce our special presenter who's going to review our product line. Dr. Siobhan France is also a doctor of physical therapy. Just a coincidence. She is an online entrepreneur. She has specialized in the aging population. She lives in Annapolis, Maryland, and there she is. Siobhan, I'm going to turn it over to you to go over our amazing product line.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. I cannot share screen because it's not enabled. Are you able to do that real quick?
Yep, let me go back here. There we go.
Can I? Oh, I can't flip screen. Okay, you'll flip for me?
I'll flip for you.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I'm really excited to be here and overview these products with you. So I'm going to start with our flagship product, Protandim. It's made up of 5 plant ingredients: turmeric, milk thistle, green tea, bacopa, ashwagandha. Now, most people are really used to looking at a bottle and looking at the individual ingredients and saying, well, this is good, this is good, this is good. But you know, that's not really the cool thing about this at all. It is actually the synergy of all of them combined that makes it 18 times more powerful. So, you know, you might know somebody taking turmeric by itself or, you know, green tea by itself, but it's not the same thing as having all of these combined in a perfect ratio. When Dr. McCord hit that ratio, that's what turned on the NRF2 pathway. And so when you have a, you know, a cake, for example, right? You've got the eggs, you've got the flour, you have the butter, you have everything. If I just gave you those ingredients and I said, here's your cake, you'd probably tell me it's not a cake. So it's really important to understand that this is synergy right here. And there's a gold stamp of approval on that first slide there that Kathleen had showed. And just, you know, really highlighting the point that this has a BSCG stamp of approval, which is the Banned Substance Control Group. All right, so the next pathway in our body is NRF1, NRF1. So mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It is literally the engine, and it's what allows our cells to function. But you know, the older we get, our mitochondria really starts to deplete. So if we don't have any cellular energy, then we can't really do our job well. And so this is, again, 5 plant ingredients all combined in perfect synergy, so that when you boost the mitochondrial production in your body, your cells are now powered up and fired up to do what they're supposed to do. This is really what you call cellular energy. And I'm sure we can all use a little bit more of that, right? And this is also BSCG certified as well. All right, so we have NAD. I don't want to make this confusing, so stick with me here, okay? There is a family of proteins called sirtuins. And sirtuins is responsible for making sure all the cells in our body communicate. So this one talks to this one, talks to this one, and we're all working together. Again, the older we get, our sirtuin production starts to decline. So in order to boost that back up, you want to activate that NAD enzyme in our body, which helps us support a healthy longevity, mental focus, concentration, a positive mood. And you know, the only thing that actually has been shown to boost our sirtuin production is caloric restriction. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I'm not eating enough calories or I'm not eating, I get hangry. I'm sure you guys can relate to that, right? But that only boosts it by 94%, whereas our NAD synergizer boosts it by 100% in 24 hours. And again, all natural ingredients combined in a very specific ratio. Okay, so what this is showing here is when you take all three of these together, this boosts each individual one exponentially. And I know the chart's a bit small here, but if you just look to see the far right box, I'm pointing to the screen as if you can see me, but if you look to the far right box, that's where you're going to see when you take it all together, this boosts each individual one. This is called our tri-synergizer, really going deep into each pathway of the body that's all linked to aging. Okay, so probiotic. Now, this is a really interesting thing because probiotics have been on the market for over 60 years, okay? What makes ours unique and different is a patented coating called BioTract. And just imagine you have a peanut M&M, for example, okay? You have the peanut in the middle and you have the chocolate on the outside. So that chocolate is our patented coating, and that peanut is all the good bacteria that needs to get delivered to our gut. So when you take a regular probiotic that does not have this BioTract, all of your stomach acids kill off the good bacteria before it even makes it to the gut where it's supposed to. But when you take ours that has that BioTract, that outer casing, that chocolate on the outside, gets killed off so the good stuff can actually make it. We know that with BioTract, we're actually delivering about 60%, if not more, of all of the good stuff that your body needs. And without BioTract, you're only delivering 4%. So just ask yourself, do you want 60% of what you paid for or 4% of what you paid for, right? It really, really matters. And this really helps to heal that digestive lining in our gut. Okay, so omega, again, have been around for a long time. So what makes this unique? This omega in particular is omega-3s, not omega-6s. Now, omega-6s are so easy to get in our diet, but we're really lacking in omega-3. So this is omega-3, and it also has omega-7, as well as vitamin D. Now, I don't care where you live. You could be in California, Florida, it doesn't matter. You could have all this sun exposure, but I'm sure you guys have noticed that most people are now deficient in vitamin D. And then you go and take a vitamin D supplement, but here's why that could be inefficient. Vitamin D is best absorbed in the presence of a fat. So to have this vitamin D with our fish oil is really unique. So we know it's actually getting absorbed. And what's cool about this is actually boat to bottle. It is bottled up within 6 hours of being caught. It actually has a tracking code on it, so you know exactly where it came from. So, so fresh. All right, this is our Axio Smart Energy. And this is one of my favorite products. But you know, how many of you can use a little bit more energy? How many of you are running through the line of a Starbucks or looking to pick up a Rockstar or a Red Bull just to give you energy? Well, sometimes that gives you the jitters and then it can give you the crash. What we have here, and I actually don't even like to call it an energy drink, it's really brain food. It is our executive functioning drink. This is what allows mental endurance, acuity, memory retention, focus. How many of us can really use more focus? And what's great about this is we have a decaf version as well as a caffeine version, and they come in those stick packets, and you just tear it off, you put it in your bottle, you shake it up, and you go. And I want to point your attention again, BSCG certified. How many energy drinks or executive functioning drinks do you know has that stamp of approval? Really, really big deal. Low in calorie, gluten-free, non-GMO, the whole nine. Super, super clean. All right. So Kathleen mentioned LSU did a study on skin cancer. That's what launched the company into this market to have our 4-part skincare line. And I gotta be honest, I never really used skincare prior to using this, and I absolutely love it. I actually had people tell me your skin is looking so much healthier. It's really exciting because oxidative stress is also happening on our skin, and you know, it shows up more than fine lines and wrinkles. We have people with different skin conditions, you know, so they're using inside-outside approach of activation. An amazing science, super clean product. If you guys are familiar with an app called Think Dirty, That is an app where you can rate all of your beauty products. Anything that's in the green is clean. Anything that is above like a 4, 5, 6 has a toxic ingredient in there. So I can tell you our skincare regimen has won awards, as well as our Nerf 2 activated hair care line. You can put this in that Think Dirty app and you will see we are all in the green. Our hair care line has also won awards, and I actually have it in my hair right now. And what's funny is people always say, why is your hair so shiny? And I say, it's my activated hair. It makes my curls super, super soft. And it really just helps to balance the flora on our head. Just consider that, you know, the things we're putting on our head can be toxic, and it's the closest thing to our brain. Our scalp actually absorbs 4 times faster than any other part on our skin. So when you want to put something good on your head, and there's some, you know, photos there that you can see, this really does give the appearance of hair growth as long as you have a healthy follicle. So this is our weight management line, Physique. What's really exciting about this is that it's centered around the probiotic that I showed you earlier, but it also has a prebiotic, which acts as fertilizer for the probiotic. We also have a citrus-based fat burner, which has been proven to target visceral fat. That's the fat around the organs, which is the most detrimental for us, as well as a whey-based protein, very low in calorie. You can mix it up with, you know, smoothies, or you can use it as a meal replacement, or just to keep you full longer. Last but not least, we can't forget about our furry friends, our dogs. Dogs are actually dying from the same conditions we as humans are. They actually have more oxidative stress even, and the cool thing is they have no placebo effect. So, you know, when you have Fluffy that's tired and sleeping all the time, is now jumping up and down and wanting to go play, you know, you can really say, wow, how amazing is that? Lower oxidative stress really does the body good as us humans, as well as for our furry friends. I hear it tastes like bacon, but I haven't actually tried it, I promise you. Thank you, Kathleen. I'll turn it back over.
Thank you so much, Siobhan. And so we can't keep going without actually hearing from a few folks, some of their product experiences. So we have 2 special guests on just to do a short, you know, share about their experience using our product line. So I'll call on Bonnie first. I see you there. Bonnie Sermon, do you want to unmute?
Yes. Thank you, Kathleen.
So introduce yourself and tell us just, you know, something about a product experience you had.
Okay. So as Kathleen said, my name is Bonnie, and I've actually been in healthcare at a senior level for, well, I've been in healthcare for almost 40 years. Can't believe I can say that. But I am passionately committed to eliminating health disparities and improving healthcare outcomes. And when I was introduced to LifeVantage, I'm actually exploring, you know, I was exploring what was my next career move going to be, because I turned 60 in January and I hadn't quite fulfilled my lifelong passion of, you know, helping to eliminate health disparities. And that's been really clear during this latest pandemic. So that's why I'm doing LifeVantage, because I need to fulfill that mission and I need to hurry up because I don't want to be working until I'm 100. But with LifeVantage, I possibly could be, who knows? And I'll tell you why. You know, I won't take up the next hour. I could about all of the benefits that I've gotten from LifeVantage and the products. I'll talk about 2 very specific ones. First of all, I started with taking LifeVantage, the Tri-Synergizer, at the end of February. And at the time, I was stalled weight-wise. I had been stalled since December. I have been doing keto and intermittent fasting. I was losing inches, but I was not losing pounds. And I don't care what anybody says, pounds matter to me. So pounds matter. And I see a functional medicine doctor within a week of doing the Tri-Synergizer, I lost 2 pounds. Now that's after not having lost any pounds since December. That was huge for me. And as of yesterday, I've lost 20 pounds since the pandemic. Okay. And this is a person who's about to be 60 in January. I've lost a pound a week. Huge for me. Now, that's allowed me to do lots of exercising and things that I haven't been able to do in the past because I have horrible inflammation. I had horrible inflammation that caused me to have joint pain, caused me to have congestion that was constantly there, this postnasal drip that no matter what I took, I've had it for years. Since I started LifeVantage, the inflammation has pretty much gone away. I know that not only because I don't have the postnasal drip, but because I see a chiropractor regularly. I actually work for the chiropractor's office, and they would not allow me to get adjusted during times when patients were in the office, because every time they touched me, it hurt. Like the adjustment felt good in the end, but I had so much inflammation that they would touch me and I would just light up, like I was on fire. Well, the last time I got adjusted, chiropractor kind of poked me and said, Bonnie, are you okay? And I'm like, why? Yeah, what? He's like, I've been adjusting you and you haven't moved. What are you doing? And of course, I can only tie it back to the LifeVantage products, you know, most importantly, the Tri-Synergizer. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you so much for sharing. So helpful. You know, and, you know, we don't always feel our oxidative stress level go up and down. So people have different experiences. You know, we can't say this cures or treats or mitigates disease, but as a result of reducing that inflammation, which is one of our patents, we have multiple patents on these products, you know, a lot of things can happen. So thank you so much. We have one more person who's going to share real quick. Althea.
Oh, certainly. Thanks. So my name is Althea Johnson. I am in the healthcare industry for almost 30 years now, 25 being a registered nurse. I have dabbled in disease management and case management. And when my dentist, Dr. Martin, introduced me to Protandum and showed me the news clip, I was blown away because it spoke about oxidized stress and aging. And another thing that came on was that my mother was diagnosed with aging, and the doctor told her that aging leads to Alzheimer's. And just by history, my paternal grandmother had Alzheimer's. Most of her children had Alzheimer's, and my father is currently battling Alzheimer's. So you know what? I'm like, oh no, I need to take this product to reduce my oxidized stress and see what happens. And I began taking the product. I have had better recall, better mood, increased energy, better sleep. I have a background like Bonnie, and I work with patients that have social detriments of health, and it's a very challenging conversation most of the time. I am able to have a wonderful conversation with them without feeling exhausted. And I said, oh my God, I am just enjoying this. I have better skin, better hair, and I have lost 20 pounds as well. And I just want to add to that, when Sydney Martin, which is Dr. Martin's daughter-in-law, told me about the product and said, Althea, you're telling everybody, why don't you help yourself, better your health, and improve your financial standing? So that's when I came on as well. And I'm enjoying myself and looking forward to just grow my business well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Somebody in the chat was asking where you are in Florida, so you can respond back in the chat.
Okay.
So much, Althea. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. We're going to talk a little bit more about, oops, here we are.
I'm interested.
The business again. Oops, I came to the wrong. Stop share. Give me 1 second. There we go. That's where I needed to be. Okay, so now that we've talked about the products, we're going to talk a little bit more about the business opportunity and how we can share this information and help other people with their health and their financial situation and help ourselves as well. So the timing of a network marketing company is 50% of the evaluation. It's so, so critical when you decide to get involved. Because as I mentioned, you might be hearing about this for the first time. Or if it's not your first time, the person that brought you here, it was your first time hearing about oxidative stress and LifeVantage and Nerve2 and Protandim. So you're very lucky. We're very early to the ball game. A company needs about 135,000 distributors to hit a momentum piece in a company. So think about Facebook, Google, Apple, Crocs shoes. Think about a time when you didn't know about those companies, but they existed, right? And if you could go back in time and invest in those companies prior to everybody knowing about it, you'd be in a good position, right? We have that opportunity here. Right here is where we are, and this is where we're going. Okay, so this is something that kept me up at night for 2 weeks after seeing that news clip for the first time, because I couldn't stop thinking about people that I wanted to share this with, and I did not want to miss the boat. I didn't want to look back in 5 years and think I coulda, shoulda, woulda. I didn't want to miss the opportunity. So, and I knew I was going to share it. So I'll tell you more about my story in just a moment. This is our earnings claim statement. You can find it at our website, lifevantage.com. And because we are a public company, transparency. We actually have our financial numbers every quarter, and then every year we have the average income of what people were making. And you can see in the early stages of the business in the right column here, Pro 1, Pro 2, Pro 3, somewhere between $67 a month and $636 a month is the average income. And you know what? We know that somewhere between $300 to $500 is enough to prevent 80% of the foreclosures in our country. And imagine what's happening right now with the number of unemployment claims. If people just had an extra few $100s, what could that do for them? And truthfully, in the beginning, I was thinking, even if I made a few $100s, that would offset the number of patients I would need to see in order to create income for my family. So that was, easy. Now I want to invite Dorothy Washington, Luckett Washington, back on here. Dorothy, could you just, quickly share, you're a Pro 3 in the company. That means your business has gotten to 5,000 in total volume between you and the people that you've introduced to this. Can you just share a little bit about briefly your background and why you said yes to LifeVantage? Just unmute your line, Dorothy.
My background is I've been in healthcare for over 30 years. As initially I was a respiratory therapist, and for about 5 years, and for 30 years I've been into nursing. So I'm a registered nurse, and I love what I do. I'm a caregiver. And I was in Moms in 2016. I ran into beautiful Sonia, and she introduced me to Kathleen. And somewhere around May, was when I had a 3-way call, and I saw that video, and I was having a challenge. I was seeing a physical therapist, sleep therapist, neurologist, and couldn't drive. I started taking the Protandim. Actually, I came on as a distributor, started taking the products, and within a year, I was able to drive again. Not seeing any of those doctors, no neurologists, no sleep therapists, no none of it. Even though we don't say that it here cure or mitigate disease, all I can tell you is that I feel better. Every day I feel better. So I take everything and I feel better. And the Pro 3 recently has allowed me to deal with a challenge that I experienced in my home with my husband, and those monies came in handy. So I now reap the benefits of the finances from it. I feel better, and I get to share it with others to help others. And that's all I want to do in life, is help people. So with that being said, I enjoy being a distributor, and I'm open to just whatever or wherever LifeVantage has in store for me as I move forward, helping others.
Thank you so much. And that's definitely a common thread here at LifeVantage. We want to be able to help people, and we can do that here. So thank you. Now, if you'll notice here, Pro 4, 5, and 6, most of the money that our company pays out to distributors is paid out to people earning somewhere between $1,400 a month and $6,200 a month. give or take. So I wanted to invite Dr. Siobhan France back on here. She is a premier Pro 5 in our company. That means her business reached 20,000 in total volume, and the average income of a Pro 5 is almost $3,000 a month. Can you imagine what that could do for somebody right now? Or if you had that in addition to your current job that you have to go to. So Siobhan, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. So let me just say, I grew up in financial hardship. My mom had a stroke when she was 29 years old. I was 5 years old. We went from a 2-income household down to a 1-income household overnight. Not only did we have a health crisis, but we had this financial hardship, and it always allowed me to keep my eyes and ears open for other ways to make money. I got into healthcare because I love helping people. Being a physical therapist is amazing. But I actually had my last day of work March 18th because of what's happening right now in the world. And with that being my last day of work, without knowing when I was going to be able to go back to work, I lost my main source of income. But because my eyes and ears have always been open, and I've been partnered with the company for quite a few years now, it's really allowed me to have dug the well before I was thirsty. And it's been really nice to have this income to help offset my parents' mortgage. It's really where my income goes. But now that I've been in this situation, it's been my income, and I've been able to take half of it and still help my parents with their mortgage. And I'm not saying that this business is easy. I'm saying it's worth it, and I'm saying that it's offered me a peace of mind, because I can't tell you what I would have done for money had I not already said yes to something a few years ago. So the whole community has changed my life. The products have been life-changing. It makes me extremely emotional to even sometimes talk about, because I know you guys watching, you're on the outside. If something is intriguing you or calling you, I really do invite you to just explore it further, because having a peace of mind at a time like this, and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. There's still so many people filing for unemployment, 38 billion people. So, you know, what would make a difference for you in your life? Would an extra $300 to $500, like what kind of peace of mind could that offer you? And just ask yourself, is that worth it? And if you aren't going to do this, I just pray you do something, because we really don't know what is happening. But I do hope you join us, because I think we're kind of fun. I think we have a lot of fun here. But I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful for the people who have shared with me, for the leadership and the mentorship. And, you know, I had somebody message me and say, I did a great presentation. I just want you to know, you know, the leaders have groomed me to be where I am right now, and we don't do anything by ourselves. We are always better together.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. It's true. We are better together. We do work as a team. That's why we're all on here. And I'll quickly share a little bit about my story, as I promised. I'm an Elite Pro 7 in LifeVantage. So you can see the average income is a full-time income. It's enough that it gave me the choice to step away from a profession that I loved, but I was trapped by. Okay, I was trapped by a profession that I loved, because although I was able to practice a healing modality that really addressed mind, body, and spirit, I was able to make my own schedule because I was self-employed as a physical therapist. I literally could walk across the street to treat patients. And, you know, all of that was great. I made amazing money. I was a cash-based therapist. So why would I be interested in another way of making money? Well, what I didn't love was having to choose between my profession and the time I spent with my kids. I had 2 little ones at the time. So I had a 5-month-old and a 2-year-old at home, and I was taking maternity leave. So I actually had no income coming in. I did not love going through my savings and depleting that income that we had set aside for the future, but we were doing that. I didn't love that I had to have a patient in order to make money. I didn't love that, you know, if it was bad weather, or if my kid was sick, or if I was sick, or if our patient was sick, that would be immediate lost income. I didn't love the idea of turning the care of my children over to somebody else. So I was very driven to try to find something that I could do from home. And that's when someone introduced the ABC News Clip to me. They just said, I have a business opportunity for you. And they had no idea that I was praying for something. And I knew nothing about network marketing. So when I saw that, as I said, and wrapped my head around oxidative stress, I could not think of anybody that I didn't want to share this with, especially people who were on a mission to help other people. I wanted them to know, because if they knew about this, they could turn around and do the same thing. And I was open to creating some other income. Well, that has absolutely changed my life. I started digging the well 7 years ago. I would have never predicted something like a pandemic coming around, and all of my colleagues who are, building practices as therapists or healers and didn't have a side income lost all their income. And I didn't have to worry about that. Of all the worries that we have in the world, it's a great thing to not have to worry about where your income is coming from. So and you can see it doesn't stop there. There is a bigger income opportunity for those people who are looking to build a legacy and create generational wealth, the kind of wealth that you can pass down to your family. You can put that in your will, and your children and your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren can inherit your position here at LifeVantage and continue to earn off of the work you started today. That's amazing. Unless you're an author or an actor or a musician, you're not going to earn income, okay, over time. There's people that have died that are still earning income because of that. So how do we make money? I'm just going to touch on it a little bit here. In the beginning, the way we make money is by expanding our network of consumers and distributors. We earn actually a 40% commission based on all the volume that comes in. So if you have a person that comes in with that Tri-Synergizer stack, a customer, you're going to earn $40 that first calendar month. But if you have a business partner come in and they want to come in at the highest level like you did, you're going to earn $400. And that you get paid that the next week. That's instant income. So whereas in a traditional business where you have to invest thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars or have capital investments, you can become profitable as fast as you want to. I became profitable in 6 weeks, and it took me a lot longer to become profitable when I started my physical therapy practice. It was a lot longer. We also get bonuses as we help other people be successful and grow their businesses. We also can earn bonuses on that. Then there's the royalty income. As I mentioned, if you're a musician, an author, an actor, or someone like that earns royalty, you get that, but most people don't have that. We get that here. It's an average of 5% return on the volume going through your business. Now just think about the income that you have set aside in your savings account. Are you earning 5% on that money? Is anybody? If you are, please put that bank in the chat box so we all know about it, because that's very unlikely to earn 5% back on your money. And it's as high as 9% here at LifeVantage. When you get to the higher ranks in the company, they reward you with either a $25,000 check or a Jeep Wrangler. Some people, like I had that on my mind. I wanted to drive my kids in that Wrangler. And that I kept focusing on that. Oh, I knew it was coming. The company also will match you a 10% match on everybody that you personally sponsor as a business partner. So you may only have 5 hours a week to work on your LifeVantage business. But if you have 5 people that you sponsor that each have 5 hours a week, all of a sudden you have a 30-hour work week, but you're putting in 5 hours. And you're going to earn a 10% match on their royalty check. Plus you're going to earn 5% on 4 levels below each of those people you sponsor. So it pays you to help other people turn around and be successful. And then the last way is something very unique with our company. It's a global profit sharing pool. The company takes 4% of global commissionable sales, they put it in a pool, and they share it among the leadership. And this creates a collaborative environment. Now, in corporate America, sometimes it's a little bit competitive, right? No one wants you to rise up to the top and take their job, right? So, but in this company, we want that. We want you to be more successful than us. That's how we thrive. And the way that the global profit sharing works, we're incentivized to reach down and help the newest person rise up. How about that? That's incredible. So because we're a publicly traded company, again, you get to see what's going on behind the scenes, and you can see our global sales and what they put there. All right, now we have a system. A lot of people start businesses and they have to create it all. They have to create all the marketing materials, and they have to do it all by themselves. We don't need to do that here. Okay, so we have a very simple getting started training that helps you launch your business, teaching you how to invite people, teaching you how to introduce people to the information. We have an app. So if you're into technology and you like to use apps for things, we have a great program with that. And we have regional trainings. So everything's online right now, but we do have monthly business trainings. We have weekly calls with our teams to help support you. Anything and everything is available for you here, plus individual mentorship. You also get a website, a free website. You never have to pay for that again. And if you've ever started a traditional business and started a website, it's expensive to start and it's expensive to maintain, and you constantly have to update it. We don't have to deal with any of that. I loved this because when I started my private practice, I had to manage it. I had to manage little things that I sold in my private practice. I had to manage sales tax. I had to take payments. I had to run payments and paperwork. I didn't like all that. That was a huge headache for me. So what I love about network marketing is all the headache stuff is taken care of, and I just get to show up and help people. So you're probably falling into 1 to 3 categories at this point, and just think what category you fall into, and then get back with the person that invited you to this Zoom, just to let them know where you are. The first category is, this is all very interesting. I want to do some research. Okay. Just remember pubmed.gov. If you're into the science, you can go there and look up oxidative stress, see if that's relevant, see if that's a big idea. Over 200,000 studies. You can look up protanum, NRF2, anything. And you might want to look up this study. It says, it's a Washington State University, which looked at the science of activation. NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. But you could go to Google and find a blogger who says their ear fell off when they took protandim. Okay, anybody could write anything on the internet. There's plenty of bad mouthers out there that are writing things and claiming to be somebody, but they're trying to sell you something else. So we really, suggest you go to lifevantage.com, LIFEVANTAGE, and the person that invited you has a personal website, and you can look up all the FAQs, everything you need. And even more, get on the phone with the person that invited you and one of their support team members. Just have a conversation and learn a little bit more. If you're in category 2 and you're clear, I want to optimize my health, but I'm not ready to share this with anybody, you can become a customer. And in fact, we extend the same discount to our subscription customers as we do our distributors. So we don't try to incentivize you to sign up as a distributor if that's not what you're ready to do. That's integrity for a company. Okay, but you get free shipping and wholesale pricing on all of our products. We have some great stacks, which is a combination of products, including the Tri-Synergizer. I really love this one, the Ultimate Stack. It includes the Tri-Synergizer, the probiotic, the omega, and the prebiotic, which is a blood orange flavored drink. It's so, so, so delicious. It really helps with regularity, bowel regularity, and it does also help with satiety. So if you drink this 30 minutes before a meal, it will help fill you up a little bit, and so you eat less. And of course it works with the probiotic to help your gut health. Now, if you're thinking, I could use some extra income, I want to start creating that financial nest egg now, in addition to what I'm doing possibly, because a lot of people are thinking 40 to 50 years, work, retire maybe on 40%, 95% can't retire, so get an extra job anyway. Maybe health issues start kicking in, then they don't get to live the life they want, right? But we can earn while we learn here. And if you're resonating with this information and you see yourself locking arms with this community, let's do it, okay? Let's lock arms and work with you to help you start creating some additional leveraged income. There's a few ways to come into the business. There are enrollment packs. I highly recommend a business forward pack. And that means either the gold pack or the platinum pack. The gold pack is $650. It is, you save about $330 almost on the products in that pack by getting it in the gold pack. Plus you get a free ticket to our virtual convention in October. You'll get $300 worth of swag from LifeVantage for coming to that and registering that ticket. And you get some of the product. The platinum pack gives you everything. So you really get to start your business off on the right foot by having an experience with our whole product line. You get the free ticket, you save over $700 by getting the platinum pack all at once. Okay, so you get the best return on investment. And when you turn around and the person that you invite to this says, well, what did you do? And you say, well, I came in as a platinum distributor. they're more likely to do that. Okay, so it helps you get clear about what's the place you want to step in at and build your business from. We also have a customer placement program for all of our platinum distributors. If you download that app and start using it, it triggers an algorithm and the company will give you some free customers that end up getting funneled through our main website. Okay, so with that, I just invite you to get back with the person that invited you to this event. And if you're thinking, I have a great referral for this, they would love to know that too. And thank you for all of our special guests who shared. I appreciate you being here tonight and sharing your story, and everybody else who jumped on. Have an amazing week, everybody. Talk to you soon.